drinking Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. They finally started distributing Great Lakes beer in the Boston area. And this is their classic American porter, 6% alcohol. I first had this one going back 15 plus years. And I always thought it was a pretty good, like, robust porter. Hoppy, but lots of body. So let's just jump into it. It's pretty traditional porter ingredients. Old school American hops. It's not super bitter. I think they list the IBU as 37. Oh yeah, it says right there. Probably uses, I don't remember what hops, but it's not like super IPA hops, but just old school American ones. And pretty dark, light brown head, but you can see through it easily if you hold it up to the light. And my question, I wonder, is if, like, did the recipe change in the last 15 years? I remember it being darker and thicker, but I wasn't really into dark beers much 15 years ago. So maybe, to me, it just looked like some super dark beer that was not really my thing. But pours pretty nicely. Head looks pretty nice. There we are. Yeah, when I show it to the camera like that, it looks quite dark, but maybe you can see, yeah, a little bit of a ruby highlight on the bottom. And yeah, that's I think this is really, really fresh, so it definitely has a good amount of hop character. The best by date is February 3rd of next year. Right now it's September 25th, so that's a long ways away. The numbers below it say 4311. Could that be the 311th day of this year? I don't know. That's in the future, I think. But it smells, yeah, nice and hoppy. A little bit piney. Definitely roast. A little bit of char. They use roasted barley in this one. Yeah, it's, to a British person, this probably would be a stout. A little bit reminiscent of Guinness Extra Stout, maybe, but with American hops and very clean American ale yeast. I'm not noticing like any fruitiness from the yeast. I guess it's not that bitter, but it smells similar to like what black IPAs smell like. Especially since it's definitely very fresh. And this is the first shipment they've made of this to the Boston area, so it's probably, hasn't had time to sit on the shelves and get old. Maybe almost a little bit like a minty. Almost like a mint chocolate, but also more like a roasty, dark roast coffee. I haven't bought a beer like this in a long time, and it's finally cooling off. Yeah, it seems like it has a lighter body than I remember, but who knows? They definitely brew on a bigger scale than they did 15 years ago. But who knows if they actually changed it and made it a little more light-bodied. The finish definitely has a bitter, charred thing. It dries out your tongue. Yeah, it's not super like hop-forward bitterness. It's got just a good amount of that bitterness you get from using roasted barley. Yeah, it's like if you just had, drink some French roast or Italian roast, that drying out a bit. It's good, and it lingers with that. And hints of bitter grapefruit and pine around the edges. Even though the body's not huge, it's still somewhat creamy. And very clean. Yeah, it's just kind of a more almost sessionable robust porter, like American robust porter. Like when British people say robust porter, it often is less than 6%, I think. But for Americans, they tend to make them bigger, 6 to 7%, and use a lot of American hops. That's very nice. they've kind of mastered how to make this beer. I bet like Sierra Nevada's porter, it's only available like at the brewery in California now. I think that probably is similar to this one. Maybe even their stout also, which is another one that they don't really distro widely. And I like these beers. There are some smaller craft breweries in New England that do some similar ones that are a little bit bigger, maybe have a little bit more body to them. Excuse me. But this one is just brewed like perfectly, and it doesn't taste like mass produced. Doesn't have any, no off flavors, no, just no. I mean, it's super fresh, so it's great. hmm So if you want a porter, a robust porter that has all that flavor, all the roast, and some hoppiness, but you don't want it to be too sort of thick and sweet, this is a good way to go, I guess. It's the 4.25. I could see myself buying this a couple more times over the cold weather seasons. Bye.